And hello. Welcome to the Zooming Who's podcast, and I'm your host, Dustin and DaHusky.
And I'm Kurdan Sarpris.
Maybe I'll put it like that.
Oop, cheers up.
Put it closer.
Yes. ASMR, poos. Poos, poos, poos. Poos, poos.
That was kind of weak, but that's okay though.
I was expecting more of a...
Yeah, I was hoping for that too. Brought to you by Line and Kugel.
Not
Also,
really.
Liney's. Really. What's that?
Not really, though.
No. All right. So, it's been a week. We've at least tried to promise to at least maybe do this once a week. So, here we are. So I would say first topic, because we talked a lot about it last week, cons. We finally got 2 dates for at least the cons that we were talking about last week that we were hoping to attend.
Yes.
There's First Squared, which then released its 2022 date. Like in the past week. So normally First Squared happens in February. Now, because of hotel contracts, trying to just probably sort something out, because I'm sure pandemics got a lot of things on people's minds right now.
Yep.
But also, too, the hotel is currently renovating itself again. So they probably won't be ready to host anything big until probably March, and they figure to give everyone enough time. April would be a good month, which I believe it's like the weekend of the 14th or 15th. I'm not sure what day that is, but it is that weekend. Then Ohio also announced its date that it's going to happen, of course, Memorial Day weekend, which...
Is that when they normally do it?
I believe so. Which is going to be a little bit tough, because I wonder if I can still get vacation time for it.
After going to First Squared?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I need to go to cons, and frankly, having a con, not back to back, I'm not talking from one weekend to another, but having to go to 2 cons spaced by only a month, honestly, you know what? I'm ready for that. At least for this year. You know what? I'm okay with that. Normally, I always go to First Squared. I enjoyed Ohio, and I thought that was a fun con. And then there's IFC. Really, I'll be fine doing two cons in a 2-month period. So, well, not 2 months, being April, May. Literally, it's probably a month apart from each other, which I've never done that ever. If I can get the vacation time off, I don't see it being a problem with First Squared. I just see it as a problem with getting it through to Ohio being Memorial Day weekend, but I'd rather just be away from work anyway. And even if they call me in, you got to come in on Monday. No, I am nowhere near where you want me to be on Monday when I am leaving home. So, no, I am not doing that. If I want to enjoy my whole weekend, that is really Friday to Sunday to a con. Thursday and Monday are normally times when you're traveling. That's what I like to do. And the rest of Thursday is bonus con experience that you can do what you like, enjoy yourself, maybe take a dip in the pool, a hot tub if there is some.
Oh, yeah.
You want to go out on a night on the town, just to, do something, or attend any of the weird functionless panels that actually tend to really bust a lot of guts, because that's when a lot of dumb shit happens. Or fursuiting. You want to get ahead on fursuiting, you can fursuit on a Thursday. If you're leaving on a Monday, you can fursuit well into Sunday night. See, just works out perfectly. So Ohio is a con that I might have some trouble trying to get into. IFC being the last con with my current route that I'm able to probably attend anyway, because I still have to bid into my route every year, which is dumb.
Every year?
Every year.
Just once a year?
Once a year. But the thing is, though...
At least it's just once a year.
However, there are people still above me that can take any route.
So when's the next bid?
August every year. And it doesn't come into effect until the second week of September.
Okay.
So really the last weekend of August, and you still are on that route until the end of, until the second week of September, and then you go onto your new route if you get a new route, which I don't care for that at all. Whoever thought, I get it, it's a bit of variety, but the problem is all the other experienced drivers stick with the same damn route. What is so different? And I don't want to rant. We'll go from talking about furcons to work but for a moment, I don't get this. Why are you giving us the opportunity to change our route every year if we're going to be picking the same damn route that we want? Because most people just like the same old thing. And hello,
They're
King.
keeping it fair.
And hey, AJ, good to see you. They're trying to keep it fair,
Yeah,
but a lot of them, the higher ups, they're the ones that would rather keep the same route that they've always had.
No.
So in that case, the higher ups, they will pick the same thing over and over again, which I'm hoping for this upcoming year. And if they like me enough, I might get to keep 401 because they know that I'm a good worker. Well, not management. I'm talking about other drivers, because it's possible that other drivers can fuck with you and they can just take your route. But that's yet to be seen because it hasn't happened yet. But I'm hoping to keep this route because I like it. I don't have to work weekends. That's amazing.
Now, when you say route, is it different people you have to pick up than the last time?
No, it's the same. It literally is the time of day and the time of week.
Okay.
That's the only thing that changes. Beyond that, same shit. Same bus, same shit, just different times of the day, which I'd rather not to do second shift because I realize driving while it's dark out is a bit hard.
Yeah.
I don't like driving at night. I'm just glad that it only happens to be the first hour and a half of my day and the last hour and a half of my day. I'm glad it's just that because I can't stand driving at night. But anyway, just jumping back onto cons. I've got a good shot, and I'm going to stick with that. I do have a vacation slip form that I've asked for, which I don't get my vacation until February. But by the time that I do get my vacation time in February, I'd rather have my time off approved, knowing that I can still get it. Maybe add a little note saying I don't get my vacation time till February, but I still want to take the time off that I'd like at these dates at this point. Because I can always ask for more dates off, change some dates if need be, or something like that.
So here's a question. Provided that you get the requested time off, are you going to do a panel?
Oh, always.
About?
So at First Squared, I want to run my photography panel because it's always fun. I like to run my reenacting panel because I think that's a staple at this point. And then I kind of want to do a 30-minute set. I want to do a 30-minute set of just myself telling silly stories. I want to see if I can do 30 minutes of just talking, which I can do all times of the day. But I kind of want to just have like a little Hoosk story hour. That's not even an hour, just 30 minutes of some of the best stories I have, and just kind of run with it and just see how it goes. May not happen at every con, may just be a one-time deal, but I think that'd be fun. And then might run a furry cars panel or something automotive.
That would be fun.
Just to talk about, cars. And I might do that for an hour or 90 minutes. I don't know. Like, the reenactor panel is going to be 90 minutes long because I think you can get a lot more in 90 minutes. Film photography is going to be an hour long because it's just photography.
Now,
Hoosk.
If they're limited, as far as like...
Oh, they're not.
They're not going to be like MFF was, where there was like...
Actually, I think it was just a lack of people who would probably do panels. That and a lot of people showed up last minute. I think it had a lot to do with they did this sort of last minute to do this in person, if you know what I mean. That by the time that they gave the programming requests online, I don't think many of the people who would show up to do panels, they weren't sure about going anyway. So there's that. Something like a small con like First Squared, I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Really?
I don't think so. If anything, there's going to be less people at First Squared this upcoming year, like at MFF.
What's the panel? Not panel.
Yeah.
That one something about the baby light.
So that's called Too Much Light Makes the Baby Go Blind. Now it's called something else these days. That's a fun event at MFF only.
You know, I've never ever been to it.
They were there this past year, but I've only attended 2 of them. That was MFF 2010 and MFF 2011.
They're like
Beyond that, I did not attend a single one. Not that they're bad. I just never have a chance to get to them.
So it's like what? Like an improv group?
Yes. No, it's an hour long, and they're doing 30 different stories in 2 minutes. They can be sad, they can be funny, depressive, informational, or just boom, there we are. So that's an MFF only thing, because they're a Chicago local group. They go across the country, but they only attend MFF for just that one special thing. So no other con in the world will have that event.
I've always heard of it, and I never have been to it.
You can go on YouTube and go through the previous years. They're pretty fantastic. Even the ones I've never attended in person, I've watched them online, and I think they're pretty fantastic. So this past week, I mentioned something to you about cons and rooms, because I get the best sleep when I'm at a hotel because the pillows are firm and the mattress is firm, which my back is messed up. So to me, you know, sleeping nice is kind of important, because that means the next day is going to be just fine. If you can't sleep well, things are going to be rough. And we got 3 people. Sweet. Hello. Oh, no, we lost the 3rd person. Goodbye.
Oh, we scared him away.
So, have you noticed that a lot of fursuit photos taken in a bedroom happens to be in a hotel room?
Yes.
I mean, that's just without saying. It happens. Because you know what? Most furries' rooms aren't really that furnished. In fact, they're messy, or they're totally bare. Like, totally barren of anything. Devoid of stuff. It's either one or the other. But a hotel has the perfect combination of color, shading, abstract wallpaper, or no wallpaper at all, or canvas of things on the wall that makes either sense or no sense. It's like at the main hotel at MFF for many years was racing. Why is it racing? I don't know, but there's a checkered flag and cars going zoom in a blur.
Wait, what? In First Squared you said? No. IFC.
What's that?
IFC?
No. Yes, it was actually at IFC. Yeah. Actually, it makes more sense to be at IFC. I think at MFF, it used to be airport specific stuff. So, you know, aircraft and such. Most hotels tend to choose a theme local. So, but I thought you like going to conventions. You are a furry. You enjoy doing that.
Me?
I'm talking to anyone, really.
Do. I love it.
So, you like being away from home. You enjoy home, but you like being away from home.
Sure do.
We understand, because we do that too. You know what is the second best thing to a furry that is close to home?
What?
A hotel room. Because that's where you're going to be for the whole weekend at a con, right? So, what happens if you combine the two? No, I'm not saying move into a hotel and never leave. No. You make the hotel aesthetic in your bedroom. There we go. You know what? Boom. You're always at a convention. thinking that you're always at a convention, but wait a minute, now I'm late for work, and now I have to go to work. Well,
And there's no room service.
and there's absolutely no room service. There's no fresh towels. There's toilet paper all over the place.
Actually, fresh towels, yes.
Well,
I take care of that.
right.
I'm not just the best roommate ever.
He's best Poos roommate. So now you have your bedroom in the aesthetic of any regular hotel twin bed room.
Bed and breakfast.
I mean, that's in a different part of a hotel, unless you get it served to you, which means you have to have room service and a butler.
I am my own butler. I am Poos
I
Butler.
think that would be pretty interesting
Poos Butler.
theme. Would you say?
Sure.
Just think about it. The rest of your house can look as ordinary as you'd like it to be, or however you want. But imagine that if you open up your bedroom door, it's like, yes, I need to go to a panel right now and hear Alkali's laugh absolutely destroy cinder blocks, room through room through room. Or, have...
As long as he's not having a room party above you.
Right. Or hearing the beautiful voice of Pandez making many, many joyful, amazing music through his most amazing face. He is most blessed Panda. We like him a lot. So that's my thought of, you want to have fursuit photos in a bedroom like all those other ones you see on Twitter. Why don't you bring the hotel room to you by just making your room look like a hotel room? There we go. Now you have 24/7 fursuit quality room in the look and feel of a hotel room. Genius. Get yourself an extremely firm mattress that is surprisingly comfy when you lay in it. It's like you put a loaf, like a cat loaf, in the middle of the bed. You think it's firm, but then all of a sudden, the loaf is sinking directly into the mattress because eventually it becomes firm. And I actually was pretty tempted to steal a pillow, but I didn't want to charge the chigs for that. But they have both soft and firm pillows at hotels. I always chose firm for some reason. I don't know why. I just feel more comfy that way. You would think sleeping on a brick would be not comfortable. Actually, I don't know. To me, I just find it amazing.
Here's the thing with me. Like, I was at the Comfort Inn this year.
Were you comfortable?
I was. But they had pillows that I wouldn't really consider them firm. They're like the kind where it just like...
I mean...
caves into itself.
It caves into itself, but it forms it into your face and neck as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like...
That's kind of what I'm talking about.
It's hard to really explain. What it's just like it's a marshmallow.
Yes. It's a marshmallow that's firm in a lot of ways, but it contours to your neck and head, and it almost cradles it incredibly well. And it's comfortable. And then you sleep fantastic.
Speaking of marshmallows, then Sylvester ate some.
Sylvester ate a marshmallow?
He opened up a bag and chewed on them and then left them on the counter.
So he didn't eat any marshmallows, so
Well,
he must
just
have not liked them.
He just like chew.
And then
he likes the smell. It's like whenever we would go shopping together and I would take a bag of marshmallows and I would just
press it against my
face.
Press
it against your face and you would just like smell
the
powdered sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the best part about marshmallows.
Yeah. It's empty calories, but hey, it smells amazing.
But Sylvester likes the smell of powdered sugar too. So he thought he would try them, and he didn't like them. So there's little like incisor teeth marks in like 3 or 4 mushrooms.
See, that's absolutely adorable. Having a dog or a cat is seeing all the little like fang pokes onto like wood or plastic or granite, and seeing cute little marks where a poos would nibble.
And then he left
and then would destroy bags and boxes.
Yeah, I mean, he actually I cannot believe he opened the bag himself.
He knows no bounds. He is a cat. He will do what he wants.
Yep.
All this is his house. It's just we pay for everything for him. So if you want a house, you get a cat. Cat will find a house and you just pay for it. That's just how it works. So at least with con stuff kind of being, talked about whatnot, panels, cons coming up and whatnot, talk about a bit about jobs and such. I kind of had a crap week.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to get into details into how it happened. Well, not how it happened. I'll talk about what happened. But someone blew up in my face. Not from work, but just in life. Someone decided to blow up in my face about something I had no control over and then think, okay, you are obviously bipolar. And I don't know what to exactly say, but to say nothing, because you know what? I refuse.
Is this a client or is this...
has nothing to do with work.
Oh.
Private within life.
Okay.
So I go about my day sulking about this, because it's like, why am I treated like shit when they claim I treat them like shit, but I don't really treat them like shit, but they treat me like shit, thinking that I treat them like shit. Like, that makes sense. So here I am, kind of pissed off about this dumb reality that I have to always keep bouncing myself back to. And I could care less about it. I just want to move on, do my thing, do stuff, enjoy people, enjoy things in life, and just kind of just flow. And some people just like to be a stick in the mud as far as ruining your day. Even if... yeah, I just don't get it. So anyway, here I am driving my bus. I come to a stop.
And they were at the stop.
What?
And they were at the stop.
No, this has nothing to do with... it has nothing to do with job. I just happened to be at work reading a text message of, wow, you think I treat you like shit, but yet I've not treated you like shit at all. It just does not. So I totally forgot my tail swing. I was going to leave the curb. I cranked my wheel all the way to the left and pulled out because there was a parked car in front of me.
Uh-oh.
I
Did you
clipped
jump the curb?
No, actually, I wish to. Actually, my back wheel was on the curb anyway. I clipped a mailbox. That ruined my day because I did that myself while thinking of an idiot who thinks I treat them like shit. But now I really feel pissed off that why am I thinking about this person while I should be working when I should not have to be thinking about any drama in life whatsoever while driving a big giant vehicle with people's lives on it.
Yeah.
So I pulled off. I heard the scrape. I was like, oh, fuck. So I pulled over almost immediately. I looked at the side of my bus and just, a small scratch and a rub mark. It's like, okay, all right. This isn't bad. There are no dents. Small light scratch that you won't see more than 10 feet away. In fact, even 5 feet away, you won't see it. So I'm not concerned by that. I'm not even going to bother write it up because you know why? It's a scratch and it's a rub mark. It's not dented. It's not cracked. It's not falling apart.
Was there any damage to the mailbox?
Well, I didn't check the mailbox because I was on a time crunch. So I decided to drive off. But in the back of my mind, I thought, okay, am I going to report this? Now, I've been going back and forth because I felt pissed off about my day so far. Do I really want to report something and then get more involved into something else that would piss me off even further?
Yeah.
So I figured, you know what? No, I am not going to report it because you know what? It's not another vehicle. It did not damage the bus in a way that makes it look worse, which is a new bus. It's got some rub marks here and there. So it's not brand spanking new. It's got scratches. It's got stuff from branches smacking the side of the bus because you know what? Some treetops are so fucking tall. Well, not tall. They stick out into the road so much that I whack them anyway. So really, there's scratches on my bus. Not the worst thing. My bus has dents on the top, and I don't know how that is. I don't know how, but there are dents on the steel roof of my bus, and I, to this day, do not know how it happened. But you know what? There's already worse on the bus that I did not even know what had happened. So, a scratch and a little rub mark about the size of a Post-it note. So I decided at the end of my day, counted my cash, got to my car, and drove off. I decided, okay, I didn't not report this, which is normally a no-no, but you know what? If I hit a parked car, that's one thing. If I get into an accident, that's another. If I hit a mailbox, I'm indifferent because a mailbox doesn't cost a whole lot of money. If I really, really destroyed it.
It doesn't have feelings.
No. And no one else was there. So there we go. Hit and run, Hoosk. So I decided out of guilt, I figure I'm going to drive by the area, which happens to be not far from here, just to kind of see, okay, so how well did I do? I was getting a bit nervous because I thought, okay, what happens if I really fuck it up and they decide to call in saying, hey, my mailbox is busted, but then again, where could it go from there? Who knows if you got video cam or whatnot or this and that. Well, it turns out the mailbox is totally fine.
Good.
It did more damage to my bus than I did damage the mailbox. The only thing I did to it was move the post 15 degrees rotation. Like, not the mailbox was ripped off the post. No, the mailbox was so robust and screwed onto that wooden post, it moved the post with the mailbox. No, the mailbox moved the post with my bus. That's a really strong mailbox on a really, really robust post. At that point, it's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm never going to think about this again. Anytime I look at the mark on my bus, because I get one bus, and I use my bus every day, it's my assigned bus. Every single time I'm going to look at that mark, I'm going to say, some fuckhead decided to do that. But I'm not going to say it's me. So, yeah. Today was not good. Many, many people screaming at me because I need to use the bathroom, but I can't stop specifically for that. I have to go where I need to go. You know, people almost peeing their pants, which, okay, all right, I understand. You need to use the bathroom. I could use the bathroom too, because sometimes I might work a very long day and I might not get a chance to use the bathroom. Because sometimes you have someone on the bus and you can't leave a bus with someone unattended. So really, you can't do that. If you have a bus empty of people, you are on time somewhere, you can turn the bus off and leave for 10 minutes. Do what you need to do. If you're near a gas station, use a bathroom. Get yourself a nice hot coffee. Then come back on your bus, crank it up, and then you're good to go. And then you're back on route. There we go. That's amazing. No, some days don't have a chance to use the bathroom. So, of course, Hoosk bladder is full. And I can't do anything about it because I'm stuck in a bus. But people in the outside world of bus, you have freedom of movement away from said bus that I don't have when in said bus. You can use the restroom at any time. Most places have a restroom that you can use these days because I think it's against the law in this country to have a restroom that you can't use, which a lot of gas stations aren't allowing people to use anyway, which I think is stupid. Because even I pull up to a gas station having extra time, thinking I could use a restroom. Nope. Their restrooms say, it's out of order. We don't do that anymore. It's like, you got to at least use, like, ordinary people still have to kind of go, even if they're going to be pickpocketing. Okay, that's part of the neighborhood. That's part of what might go on in your neighborhood, but someone may legitimately need to use a restroom. So I kind of got pissed off and whatnot. Oh my God. But some people who tell me, hey, can you stop at a place and wait for me? No, I can't do that. I can't do that at all. Why should I have to stop somewhere for someone to use the bathroom to then hop on my bus without paying a fare? Because once you get off the bus, you got to pay again. Or bus transfer. I don't know. So I am frustrated. I understand. People need to use the restroom. I feel you too, because Hoosk bladder full at most times of the day. So you know what? Yeah, I can understand that you need to use the restroom. Some people think their bladder is full, but it really isn't. They just want to use the restroom. Then there's people who are in so much pain, they're crying that they need to use the restroom. And I understand that too. But why didn't you use the restroom before you get on the bus? And now you're on my bus for 2 hours, and now you're complaining to me about having a full bladder. You want to go somewhere, but you don't want to leave the bus. don't want me to leave you behind. No, I'm sorry. I understand the pain you're going through, but you need to take care of things before you get on the bus. I don't know. At least, do I make sense when it comes to that?
Yes. But some people, like my mom, still have the issue.
I understand. But that's a risk they're going to have to kind of take.
Here's my thing. Anxiety.
People having anxiety about needing to use the restroom.
People having anxiety about anything. Having it for no reason at all. Having no control over it. This is the thing about anxiety. It manifests itself in many different ways.
Yeah.
For me, anxiety makes me feel like I have to go to the bathroom. And I think that's what
I mean, for me, because it's like, I need to use the restroom because I don't know why. And then I realize I'm stressed out of my mind most times.
When my mom, like whenever she has to go to a doctor's appointment, always the anxiety, always.
I need to find a restroom.
No, just anxiety.
Well, that's just seeing a doctor. That's pretty typical.
The first time I ever realized I had anxiety, and then it made me feel like I had to go to the bathroom, in line in Disneyland or Disney World.
That's a bad place to want to use the restroom.
Which is the one in Florida? I think it's Disneyland.
Epcot Center.
I think it's Disneyland. I think Disney World is in California. I think Disneyland is in
Florida. Yeah.
Florida.
Disney World's in California.
Yeah.
I think so. Alpha, I believe you're from the West Coast or from California specifically. Can you let us know if Disney World is in California or in Florida? I think Disney World is in California. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So waiting in line for Space Mountain.
He says, yep. Okay, so yes. So that's Disneyland.
In line waiting to get on Space Mountain. I think I was 13. It was one of my first roller coasters ever. And the whole time I was telling my mom, I have to go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom.
You should have waited on the roller coaster, pissed yourself, and just... then the amount of speed will dry your pants.
Right before we get on the ride, my mom gives me one last chance. She's like, "Do you still have to go to the bathroom?" And I said, "Nope. I think it went back up."
Biology and how it works.
Biology? So yeah.
My pee went back in my body.
It went back up my penis. I think were the exact words I said.
You were 13 years old.
I was 13.
Do you need to use the bathroom? No, my pee went back into my penis.
It went back up my penis. I think
and some doctor nearby is like, that's not how it works.
Kid.
You need to get yourself checked, or I need to teach you a lesson about how things actually work.
You're a biological mystery.
You know what? Since we're on the subject, let's talk about amusement rides. Something we've not talked about before, but hey, you bring up a good subject. I'm going to talk about my short stint in enjoying roller coasters. And you know me, and I don't like roller coasters now. For some reason, I grew up a little bit realizing that I'm mortal. And I've already had a close call with a roller coaster once that I've decided, you know what? No, I think I'm going to be good for the rest of my life. I'm going to be okay with that. So I went to Six Flags at Gurney Mills. Is Six Flags like each flag representing a park? So there's like 6 parks in the United States? Or is that totally something different? I don't know what the whole...
I don't know.
6... I like the old man. Like, oh, Six Flags, more fun. Oh, and then... My bus is on fire. You can't escape me. So we're at Six Flags in Gurney, Illinois, for my high school senior graduation gift from the school, allowed kids for a very small fee. The school covered for most of it, including bus fare. It was just normally you pay for half the day pass. The school literally covered everything else. Oh, sweet. We got 3 people again and 3 thumbs up. That is awesome. Thank you. And I am 18-year-old Hoosk, and I have decided, you know what? I'm going to do something I never thought I'd probably want to do, and that is to go on a roller coaster. You know what my first roller coaster I've ever done?
Superman.
I'd done Superman. And that's the one where you sit in. Okay, sit.
Hydraulics.
And then, so let's say that this is the seat. So you the seat. Wait. I can't do.
Let's see.
There. Seat. There we go. You sit on there. Then
Hydraulic.
And then then this thing goes up, and now you're facing down. The entire ride, you're facing down.
If you look up, you're facing forward.
Actually, you have to look up to face forward to see what you're looking at. But with Superman, you're facing down, which honestly is even more terrifying when you're looking down than looking straight up to know where you're going. Because you know what? You see the whole world looking down.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've went on that ride that day?
4.
That's a small number.
7.
That's a small number.
12.
They're getting there.
15.
Yes! I went on that ride through the entire day 15 times because you know what? I was so terrified, I decided to keep doing it over and over and over again. I must have did Batman the ride like 4 or 5 times. I did X Factor once.
It must have been a slow day to get on those rides that many times.
It must have been. I don't know.
But you must have been running through the line.
I must
instead of winding through where that one spot where they have TV screens.
I must have probably collectively throughout the whole day, I must have did at least 40 rides of a ride.
Definitely
40 to 45.
Yeah. Definitely got your money's worth.
Because I was on a high the first time being totally terrified as hell. Never been on a roller coaster before, and I have yet to be on a roller coaster since 2012.
Yeah.
Except for that one time, and that terrified me because then I no. So, and that was a kiddie one, and it just somehow locked me up, and I just did not enjoy it.
No.
So, I decided to do the classic at
Great America.
At Great America.
American Eagle.
The American Eagle.
Wooden.
Which is a all wooden construction.
Beast.
It's a beast of a roller coaster, and it's a classic.
Shakes you all over the place.
6.
It shakes.
Oh, and there's drops.
It is
like
not
there's
smooth.
Oh no, it's an awful roller coaster.
I mean, no, I wouldn't say it's awful. It's wonderful.
Well, it was awful for me because I'm going to explain. They paired me because this is not.
God, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah,
I know.
Every single other ride is an individual jump seat that you have, like a mechanical hydraulic harness that keeps you in.
I'm going to clarify after you explain, but go ahead.
The American Eagle is a ride where you sit with someone else, and a cross lap bar that goes.
You're crammed in really close.
You're not only are you
like
crammed in
as close as we are.
This and then a bar on top of your lap trying to keep you in.
2 bars.
It's 2 bars now.
It's always been. The problem is the person you were sitting with was so wide that they were impeding the bar coming down on your side.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he was overlapping into your seat.
No. He had a big gut and big legs, and
which stopped your lap bar from going down all the way.
Yeah.
What those people should have done, and I'm sorry to say, they should have lifted his belly out of the way, got your lap bar down, then let his belly take space.
No, it's just
up.
he had thick thighs. He had incredibly thick.
Probably long legs too, because
Yeah.
You get tucked in there like this.
Let's just say this. The very first drop, I came floating out of my seat and launched forward.
Yep.
Then when I came down at the bottom, I was launched back into my seat.
Yep.
And I was gripping to dear God the entire time. If I would have not did my death grip, I would have been flung out of the ride.
Yep.
And I'm not exaggerating.
It has a lot of air. That ride has a lot of airtime.
Yes. And I was literally airtime. You're supposed to be jammed into your seat. I was literally floating out and forward.
Yep.
No. After that, I said, I'm not doing that one ever again.
Not with him.
I decided to keep doing Superman, Batman, The Dark Knight, which is a roller coaster in a dark building.
Oh, that's a Wild Mouse ride. Those are terrible.
I liked it.
It's you like back and forth, or a zipper.
I don't know what it was, but I had fun.
It has this really complete U-turns. There's no banking. It's just
So after that,
terrible.
I decided to keep doing more roller coaster rides, and I had fun the entire time. Except for that one time, I didn't let it slow me down. But then after that, I thought, okay, I almost got flung to death, like on the largest wooden roller coaster. I don't know if it's the largest, but it's like one of the largest roller coasters that's wood construction in America. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know.
It's the fourth largest.
Okay, so at that point, I almost died on the fourth largest wooden roller coaster in America. So after that, I decided, you know what? No, I'm mortal, and I need to live a lot longer than that. So I don't take too many risks anymore. And I just don't take many risks. I was hoping to do Iron Wolf, but that was a really, really long line because apparently it racks you like a horny wolf.
Not just. That's a stand-up roller coaster.
Yeah, and it kind of gets you right in the nads. It's
been moved to a different park. You can still ride it. The key with the Iron Wolf is
the Iron Dick. No, the Iron Rockets. There we go.
The evolution of stand-up roller coasters and stand-up has kind of like gone to the wayside now. The first stand-up, which was not that, I forget where it was, had nothing preventing you from falling down. Like if you fainted, you would fall out of the ride. It was literally a post with a harness coming up and over, holding you in from here up, but nothing keeping you in from below. So with the Iron Wolf, to negate that risk of people fainting and falling out, they put basically it's like a banana seat on one of your first bikes, and the whole thing from the groin up is adjustable by height. But here's what people would do, and it depends. If you want to test the tensile strength of your knees, you can actually bend your knees when it's locking in place and then straighten up. So there's about maybe an inch or two of space between you and that seat keeping you in. So you're literally, depending on your knees, keeping you in. The rest of the people will do the opposite. They will raise the seat up as high as they can to the point where your feet...
To get that Iron Wolf.
To get the Iron Wolf to the point where your feet aren't even touching the platform anymore.
Because they like getting wrecked. I can just imagine a ride passing through and everyone's pants is down their ankles.
Yeah.
It's just butt cheeks in the wind. It's just like, what is that? That's called the Iron Wolf. They take a rocket and they ram it up your ass. It's like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at all these wallets. They're all flying. They're all falling down on my legs.
Do you remember the specifics about Superman?
About the ride?
Well, not just, but like
your glasses would fling out, and your cell phone just somehow
the cage There's a big glass cage with all the cell phones that have
Oh yeah,
fallen
that have all fallen and
There's
sunglasses and whatnot.
down to flip phones,
Yeah.
Nokia flip phones,
Yeah.
everything like the last how long has it been? 20 years now?
That they would pick off
20
from the
years
grounds.
of history of cell phones, and some of them still have power.
Really?
Yeah.
Do
We saw one ringing. It was like 5-6 years ago. I saw a light lighting up on one of the phones in there. Like, one still has power. They're trying to call it. So there's that. The other thing is this. On the lift hill of Superman, every once in a while there's a bar because of the structure of the whole lift hill.
Mhm.
It's not just a post holding up, but bars going across. Nowhere for you to walk. You ever notice that? There's no stair for when the actually no, there probably is. No, what they have to do is they have to get one of those cherry picker things to get people off the ride because there's no walk. There's a walk halfway up. You ever notice every lift hill has stairs lining the track, so that if the car gets stuck,
Right.
you have to walk back down to the station again.
No, with Superman, it's designed that they're designed to.
Well, there is a walk, there is a stairwell halfway up. But here's the thing. Let me finish. You always cut me off. There's bars holding the structure together. Every bar is literally coated with what?
Bird shit.
No. Gum. Yes.
Oh God,
coated with it. You can't even see the steel anymore. It's just green, pink, white.
I think people do that on purpose.
Yeah, they literally spit out their gum right at that moment just to get it stuck on this big steel beam. And there's
I
like
remember that, yeah.
2, 3 or 4 of them, I think, the whole way up. And
people would try to launch their gum.
Yeah. Hilarious.
The thing about the Superman ride is
The
that
Superman.
there is a mechanism that allows them to retract it back. That allows, there's actually a safety device in case if it fails going up, it can be released going down. Probably. As far as I know. Or no, wait a minute. No.
They all have something.
No. They have a secondary mechanism that will try to get the thing all the way back up to do the ride. But if they can't even do that, there's I don't know, a triary. I don't know. There is a mechanism that allows the whole car to come back down slowly.
I don't know about that.
I think that's how it actually is. It's because a cherry picker is not. I don't think that's even safe enough to even attempt to try to do that individually.
I don't know.
Because it goes so high up. Even a cherry picker doesn't go that high.
I know there's stairwell that follows the train most of the lift hill up. And that, of course, is also coated with gum.
So you'll never get out.
You'll just be stuck up there.
I'm not sure. It's been so long, and I never likely.
Did you go on the Demon at least?
Yeah.
That's an old looper.
The demon was.
That is an old looper. That one, I want to say it's poorly designed, but it's not the best design. Like, it works somehow still. This is the second oldest ride there.
I've been on that one, and I can't remember how many. Probably 5 or 6 times.
Only other ride that's older than that is the.
Wasn't it the American Eagle itself?
No. The Wizard.
I've been on the Wizard. Yeah.
And that was the first structure built when they broke ground there. That was literally that lift hill, that circular lift hill. There really isn't a lift hill at all. The trains themselves propel themselves up the hill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's an ancient ride, and it still works.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. I like that it, like when you have, like after you come down the hills, which are very gradual, there's banked curves that curve themselves around like trees and stuff and gravel, and you're like literally right there next to land.
All right, so
it's cool.
You like roller coasters.
I love them.
What is one amusement ride that you do not like?
Anything going in a circle, repeated motion.
That's amazing. This cat will go on a roller coaster, but will loaf and hurl if he spins.
Also afraid of heights, as you very well know from
the
state fair.
Roller coasters.
But I like roller coasters because I'm
zooming at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Not just zooming in, but I'm all like strapped in.
Right. Well,
can't get out. When we go on the ski lift thing, it goes from one side of the state fair to the other.
But we still had a lap bar.
Just a lap bar that's like out here. It's not like right across your waist.
Oh.
You hold on to it here.
Yeah.
Plenty of room to slip right out.
I guess.
So that was my hard thing. And your hard thing was the roller coaster I made you go on with me at State Fair.
And that kind of brought me trauma from American Eagle for some reason. I don't know.
And that was such a little...
That was a kiddie ride, and for some reason it made me think of that. It's like, oh, no, I can't do this.
But you were already on there.
I was already on it, and then I like regretted it. It's like, oh, no, this made me remember that for some reason.
And I made you go on it.
Yes, you did. That's okay. I do like amusement rides. It's just I don't do many anymore just because, again, I realize I'm mortal and I'd rather like to keep living because sometimes mistakes do happen. Rarely, infrequently, but they can happen.
One thing that I've seen where it's literally just like everybody's standing against a wall in one big circle and the whole thing just spins around. Centrifugal force keeps you against the wall.
The galaxy?
Something like that. That's one thing that I have a hard time. I've seen people where they get sick on it and they throw up, comes out, and it goes right back in their face.
Or it goes to the next person.
The next person over.
So,
something else that they don't
actually no, it would go back in your face because it's centrifugal force. But then again, it's like loose, it's going to go back to hit the next person.
Yeah.
Oh, your friend is not going to like you.
Depending on if you're going at full speed or not. There's something else they took out, from Great America that's not there anymore. And I just thought of it. It's been a while.
Rocket.
No, not the Iron Rocket. There was a 3-armed Ferris wheel called the Whirligig. And it was literally bird cages that you were in, hanging from a chain. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there were 16 cages per arm, and there's 3 arms. And the whole point of the arms were, while one was down on the ground loading, the other 2 are up in the air and spinning.
Those things, yeah.
Yep. This one's spinning, and this one's spinning, and this one's loading. Once it's all loaded up, the arms would rotate. This one would now be up. This one will be over here. And then the last one is now unloading and being reloaded. But spun pretty fast. I remember that. You can fit like 7 people, 8 people per cage. And there's 16.
That's a big cage.
Yeah.
Because I know the ones where you can actually have like 2 or 3 people.
It was like, no, it was pretty big. It was like 6 or 8 people.
That's a big cage.
We'll say 6 people per cage. And 12 cages per arm. I can't do math, so somebody else do it. But when you're up in the air, it's constantly rotating, as a Ferris wheel does. But it's pretty fucking high up there. It's not when you come down here, you're adjacent to the ground. No, you're still up like a good 20, 30 feet. And then cut to maybe 60 higher feet. So maybe a 90 foot, 80 foot high. It's not small by any means. It was a very large handprint
or
footprint on the map of the park grounds. Along with Eagle being one of the biggest footprints. I am looking forward to them redoing the Eagle. It's time. It's an old ride. Almost every other iconic wooden roller coaster has been redone.
You mean the American Eagle?
Yeah, the American Eagle. Every other iconic wooden coaster has been remade into a hybrid, half wood, half steel.
Right.
And gives me chills because they keep the structures, or they basically rebuild it in the vein of the original structure. 9 times out of 10, from what I've noticed, the hills don't go up quite as high, but they cut the ground below, so the drop hill is still bigger. But they don't have to lift it as high, which I think is pretty smart. That's pretty ingenious.
I see. So I don't know much about that.
They literally paved where they dug down probably an extra 15, 20 feet. So you literally go through a paved like drop hill. The air times are more steeper, so lift out of the seat. Most of them have an added loop or inversion, even though the original Eagle does not go upside down. The hybrid version will.
Oh my God, that'd be terrifying.
Can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine that?
No, that would terrify the living hell out of me.
No harness. None of the hybrids have harnesses. They literally have only one thing that pulls up and locks you in here, and it locks you in here in your calf, which stops you from bending your leg, so you can't
Lift up.
Like, this is probably as much as you can get up, maybe an inch or two. So there's no chance of slipping out like you would have. The seats are separated, so you're not on top of each other.
Yeah.
God, the lift hills are so fast. It's crazy.
The wolf cat really likes roller coasters.
You just don't have any idea. And it's been so long. Like, it's been...
Did you go to the outing where there was a bunch of furs that went to the roller coasters?
I went with Clef Wolf when Clef Wolf was the original owner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was he an Illinois local?
No. Clef was from Florida.
So he was in Illinois.
So he literally came up there just to go to Great America's. He's never been.
That's cool.
I met up with him. I met up with Woody. Probably 4 or 5 other furs. So that was probably 5 or 6 years ago. Right after they put up the first hybrid, which is called Colossus.
I may have gone on that one.
No, I don't think so. It looks unfinished.
Wait. This was 7 years ago.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So then I didn't go on that one.
I don't think you did, yeah.
Is that one in 2012?
You wouldn't have gone on it because it has pretty much an almost straight drop.
Oh, yeah, no.
That cuts halfway through into a tunnel. You can't even see where you're going. Clef got off there, and he's a roller coaster like fanatic. He got off and he said, "What the hell was that?" It was just so amazing. It was such a great ride. I mean, the banked curves at the top of the hills are so banked they are actually like beyond just sideways, because there's so much momentum shooting you back up and coming back down that you literally are almost adjacent to where you came from. It's crazy. It's so hard to explain. The guy that created these roller coasters has been making them a what do you call it? Not mechanical. Mechanical is part of it. But what is the other? He is a physics genius. That's the word I'm looking for. This dude has done his research. Like, these rides are smooth as butter. There's no shaking. There's no head banging or anything. They're just, and the weirdest thing about them, because of the use of the wood to guide where the steel tracks go, the rides look unfinished because it's literally just a fan of just log, not log, but like, let's say 2x4, 4x4, but like 4x4 after 4x4 after 4x4. Literally like every like 3 or 4 feet, like just all the way across. And, the tracks were probably maybe this wide, and the 4x4s are just, they stick way the fuck out. When you pass by them, you feel like you're just going to like whack your like arm or head or whatever into them. It just looks like an unfinished structure, but it's just amazing. Most of them have 2 different colored steel for each track, so it looks fucking cool as hell. There's one racer hybrid where literally there's an inversion after the first drop. They always time it where both cars lift up slightly like ahead of each other, because at certain times of the ride they line up perfectly, and one of those times is when one inverts upside down and the other one is below. So you're literally, they call it a high five, because if you look down you can see the people looking up at you. It's bizarre. It's so fucking cool.
Could you give someone a high five?
No, you can't reach unless you have really super long arms.
That'd be a really powerful slap.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Love it. One of the things in our teaser info thumbnail thing for this podcast, exercise.
Yes, let's talk about exercise.
Who's got it? Who wants it? Who needs it? I need it, and I've got it, and I've been doing it. I think I've been being really good about it almost every day after work.
And what do you do?
I do, today I did leg day, which for me is a lot of, I forget what you call them.
Squats.
Yeah, well, squats. One where you have like one leg forward, one leg back, and you just keep bending and using the muscles.
In December.
Mackenzie's.
No, that's still a weak.
Weak.
I was hoping to do a quick twist, but that one cap was just
dips.
Yes.
Dips.
What's dips?
Dips.
What's dips?
Like I'm doing dips today.
Aw. You know what's good for exercise? Or what's good to do with exercise?
Sex.
Yes. And yoga.
Yeah. I combine my leg day and sit-ups. Oh, I didn't do sit-ups today. I did push-ups today with yoga when I'm stretching out.
Yoga's pretty useful.
Yeah. I can break a sweat doing yoga.
What the fuck?
What is it?
Oh, just the bubbles.
Oh, fizz. Boo. I also do an aerobic with weight exercise. It lasts about 35-40 minutes. Sweaty.
You should do it in suit and then do a LiveCast of it.
I don't think I could. In suit?
You know what you should
I sweat
do?
dressed like this, like with nothing on.
Do it in a panel.
Definitely not. Do you want me to die?
I'll put many fans on you.
I'm going to be doing
fans. I'm talking about people.
I'm going to be doing dance contests at upcoming cons.
Yes.
I have been.
You've been holding off on that for a long time,
too
and
long.
now you are finally going to do it.
But I've been working on a completely.
Actually, let's actually talk about that. Let's actually talk about fursuit dance competitions and dance routines.
Yes, I've been working on a dance routine. I know nobody's going to do it because it's an old song, but Meghan Trainor.
What song is that?
Oh God. What song?
It's all about that bass. All that bass.
No, it's not all about that bass.
Which, if you remove the B It's all about that ass.
Yes, which is fine.
Which is actually what that song's all about, is talking about your bust and your butt.
Yes.
That is true.
I don't want to even give up the song. Just know that it's very fast. And I want so badly to do a gentle. Well, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't super gentle, because I'll be in fursuit. I'm gonna do a death drop at the end.
And explain what a death drop is.
A death drop is when you drop to the ground and pretend like you're dead. Like Laganja strong.
And the poos is just gonna flop.
Yep.
Silly cat face. Most silly.
I learned of death drops through Drag Race, basically.
Yep. Drag race is pretty well known for that.
Yeah.
Also, let's talk about that too. Drag race. Drag race.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's actually talk about it.
I've been keeping up with it at all.
That as well too.
It's getting out of hand.
Explain.
Doing a winners episode. Everybody that's won, everybody that's literally been crowned, is coming back to compete with each other
for a season.
Yeah. It's almost like they're running out of ideas, or probably more likely they're running out of queens.
Also explain.
Well, I mean, they've been doing it for over a decade. 10 years of drag queens.
Really? It's been that long?
Yeah.
Actually,
longer.
Actually,
13 or 14 seasons.
I was going to say 14, 15, 16 years it got to be.
Yeah.
I thought it was going on for at least 18.
Yeah, it's been going on a while. I mean, RuPaul is
not. He doesn't own his company anymore. He sold it to someone else. He's just there as a figurehead.
Yeah.
The contracts that they make these girls or
queens.
Yes, the queens.
To keep it clear, because a lot of people are unclear about what a drag queen is, and because
I'm just saying it in the word of RuPaul.
Right.
My girls, bring back my girls.
Well, he's had to actually rewrite his script because of that.
Really?
Yeah.
So now he says, "Bring back the queens."
Queens. Yep.
Because I know earlier on he said, "Bring back my girls."
Yeah.
Really? So that's actually changed
because of transgender, because of gender fluidity. And the evolution of gender, there's been people that are transgender that identify as a woman that can still compete as a drag queen, because that's where they basically started, and they still consider themselves to be an entertainer. So why not allow them to still compete? There's no reason not to. There's literally none. He got a lot of flack for that for a long time, which is why he's had to omit, even their first old tagline was
you gotta work. No, don't fuck it up.
No, what was it? The song in the beginning of the show, "May the best woman win."
Oh, the theme.
Yeah.
Or no, the opening.
The opening song.
The opening credits.
They've had to change the words of that song to "May the best drag queen win."
Oh yeah. Wow, there's actually been a lot of changes then.
Yeah, he's had to.
In the last 3-4 years.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people don't like RuPaul. But you know what? I mean, that guy he's made quite a name for himself.
He's wealthy. He's wealthy
he's
to a good degree.
Definitely well off. But he's also a slave to his own show.
His own company, yeah.
He has other shows that he does, but none of them are as successful as Drag Race. He did one that was body painting. Never saw an episode of it.
As in It was an
body painting.
idea and it never went through.
No, they did like a season of it and it just fizzled or whatever. They did one where it was women, like literally just like women who identify as women, and just helping them to channel their inner beauty. Lady Bunny was on there, RuPaul's oldest friend. That show fizzled.
Really?
Yeah. Nobody's ever seen Lady Bunny out of drag. Except for me.
Really?
I've seen him.
Is she pretty?
No.
Oh.
No. Lady Bunny is a beast of a person. But Lady Bunny is very funny. Probably one of the funniest drag queens I've ever seen. Exercise. What was the other thing we had on there in our header? What did you put on there?
We did jobs, we did furcons, we did exercise.
Yep. I went through that.
And sanity.
What's sanity?
Or insanity. I forget what. I guess it could be anything implied. Could be anything. Did you keep notes? I think there may have been a few things we want to talk about that we didn't get to on the last chat because it was going to be about, con and review. You may have put it down in the notes as something that we could talk about later.
Let's see.
Is everybody enjoying this podcast? Yeah. Aw. Kat does not like the podcast.
So here's notes. I'm just going to read this off. I'll start from the bottom up. No, maybe I won't.
You know what? Hold on, let me. Okay, stuff to talk about. Here goes. Furries, furry names, and Sona name. Did we mention furry names and Sona names?
We did. Yeah. I was trying to do it nice, in a nice way. Just to show I'm trying to be more tolerant of other people. Because the old Poos would have been obnoxious about it. But I'm trying to just, somebody at this past MFF had both their Sona name, which is named after their character or characters. They may have more than one character.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So
then their furry name, which is the name that they go by. All their friends basically call them.
Right. Yeah.
And for you and me, that's the same name. Well, except when you're in Anton.
Right. That's a different suit. That's a secondary Sona.
Yeah.
But I have a primary Sona that I would rather be referred to as all the time because that's the Sona that I tend to relate the most with. You, it's Kurdan. Me, it's Dustin.
Right.
There are some of our friends who have so many personas that they've totally transcended their persona of their main name. So there might be someone who we still call them by that name that no longer has an existing persona of that anymore, but they have other personas along the way, or they may even have that. Again, I totally get what you mean.
Yeah.
There are some furries that have a furry name and a persona name, and actually, in a sense, our friend Nick Briggs, sort of the same thing, because he never had a furry name to begin with, so we just called him by his real name, Nick, because he never thought of, he wanted to find something that fit, and it took him almost 5 years or so before it finally stuck.
Briggs
and again,
Buckingham?
Yeah.
And
what
is Briggs Buckingham? He's a beaver, isn't he?
Badger. So that makes sense. It's totally okay to have a furry name and a persona name. It's just you're going to have a lot of confusion with people trying to tell you who you like. Oh, hey, Novak. Oh, no. It's like you have so many different names that you could go by. all of them are right and all of them are wrong at the same time, depending on who they are at the moment. Or sometimes, okay, all right. I know exactly what I'm going to complain about this, and it's only one thing. I understand you have a furry name, and then you have a persona name. That's awesome. I know a lot of people who do. You know what annoys me the most? When people change their furry name and keep the same persona names. That's hard enough to keep track. You have so many persona names. I get that. Awesome. You have a furry name. I know many who do. Okay, cool. But when you change your furry name, maybe once or twice a year, it's hard enough to know how to call you after a while.
Yep.
You know what I tend to do? Look at that. Yeah, we got someone special on the show. So, sorry about that. Oh, I stepped on his Pumas. So, there is one individual by the longest time who was named Pan. Longtime friend of mine. Every so often, he'll come up with a new persona, to which then he'll gravitate that for a while, so he becomes that name. Then they filter through, and, pretty much eventually, his personas cycle around like a lazy Susan. So then whatever he feels in the mood for, he will be that persona for a time, and he'll keep changing that. I know many people who would refer to him by whatever current persona he is. I'm always going to call him by the very first persona name that I know him by, because you know what? He changes it up so often, I would rather just call him by what I've always known of him. So. Yeah, some people are just incredibly special. All that hate. Perfect waste.
I wouldn't even acknowledge it. So I'm being invited to Ray's New Year's
Party?
Yeah.
Aw.
I just requested off for the 1st of January.
Aw.
So I'm not working the next day. So I can actually go hang out.
Nice. Oh, that's a Thursday, right?
No, Friday.
Oh, it's a
Friday night is New Year's Eve. Saturday is New Year's Day.
Oh.
I believe.
I hope I don't have to work that either.
Yeah. Because look there. Friday 31st.
Oh, I see.
1st is Saturday.
Yeah, I refuse to come in on a day where half the people on the planet are drunk.
No.
And driving at the same time. I'd rather not bother with that.
Nope. I'd rather be one of those people that's not on the road.
It's probably going to be full of snow.
Yeah. Hopefully not. But yeah, I've already told them I'm going to be naked.
Yeah, like that one time 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years?
It was 2 years ago.
Was it? Or was it last year?
No. It was 2019 becoming 2020. We were celebrating the new decade ahead, and that was.
I lost beer pong.
Yep, and to which then you got naked.
I got naked.
To which everyone thought that you weren't going to go naked, and you decided to do it despite them. So you got naked.
Yeah. To
many, many people.
TJ saw me naked.
TJ.
He vibed.
He vibed at the sight of Wolfcat naked.
I wasn't even in good shape back then. I'm in so much better shape now. So I've already threatened Ray with me being naked. I basically told him either I'm going to be pup, Spidey Pop, or naked. It's his choice. All three are basically not his tea, and I don't care. God, I can't believe I'm talking like Katya and Trixie. That's not the tea, sis.
What is this? I have a huge savings in cybersecurity solutions.
What else?
What else has happened?
I almost shot myself before I went on a date.
When was this?
Well, it's been a while since I've been on a date.
I thought it was recent.
Beginning of October.
Oh.
The last official date. I'm back to square one, by the way.
What's square one?
No prospects.
Oh.
I was going through this in my mind yesterday because I've been messing around with Facebook Date, which is full of just a bunch of ne'er-do-wells and bots. Ne'er-do-wells. You know what a ne'er-do-well is?
I have no idea what that is.
Ne'er-do-well is short for never does well.
That's an acronym, huh?
Yep, ne'er-do-well.
Huh. I've never heard of it before.
Basically, half the people you worked with at your boss was a ne'er-do-well.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, that makes sense.
What's his name? Whatever his name is.
Oh,
no, Mr.
Ryan. No, just absolute fat neck.
Just no. I thought it was no neck.
Yeah, actually, pretty much that too.
Well, yeah, Ryan was a ne'er-do-well. Mr. Sit and watch people work and eat popcorn. Was it popcorn or what?
Yeah, he would then watch people work from 4 feet away, and he would just like munch on it while staring at your ear for 2 hours or 3 hours. That's apparently the hardest worker in that whole company. Happens to be staring at someone doing work for that amount of time, then going back to his office, might maybe take a shit, and then might leave early. Wow. The hardest worker apparently he thinks he is, and it's just absolutely awful.
That's what we call a ne'er-do-well. So that's what I'm facing basically in Facebook Date. Most of it's all fake profiles at this point. I'll get somebody that I'll be like, wow, way too ridiculously good looking to be on here. Can't be real.
Oh, so it's one of those fake
Cannot
fake profiles?
be real. Using someone else's picture, whatever. It's almost it's disappointing to me. I don't know. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Single loaf.
Although a lot of the people you have tried to date were all interesting people.
Actually, I take it back. I was on a date at the beginning of November, and that was a good date, and he just stopped responding to me. He's a daddy.
Oh.
Daddy Scott.
Daddy Scott.
No. He is actually a dad, though. He had a kid with his lady that was his friend, and now they're like mortal enemies. And he basically stepped up and started raising this kid.
Oh.
She's like 5 years old now, and he's a good dad. I thought he was a nice person. We talked for probably a week after the date, and then he just stopped responding. I think I've sent him a message like every other weekend just to say, hey, hope you're having a good holiday season. You know,
right.
I did have a good time, so if you ever wanted to, go on another date or something, I'm still up for it. And just no response. So I'm sure he's thinking, I probably hate him, and I just don't want to. I don't know. It's hard to tell what people are thinking. And he's a busy guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking, here's my issue. Do not use the holiday season as an excuse. Oh, like after the holidays are over, I won't be as busy. Yes, you will. You will always be busy. You have to be able to make time for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that means just one afternoon, 1 or 2 hours, just to go out and have lunch with somebody. I'm not asking for the world.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see somebody again. See another human being. I think that's not too much to ask for. But, yeah. So, yeah, I'm back to square one. I'll get somebody who looks ridiculously good looking, and then they'll have this weird English, like they never learned how to type, and I'll just instantly block. I'm like, all right. People that don't talk, they won't do phone calls. Like, well, let's do a voice chat. No, I don't know you well enough.
That's how you get to know people, is by chatting.
What's his name that I've known forever?
Who is that?
One person I met on Facebook from a long time ago. Joshua Reese. I've known him since before I was furry.
And you both would talk once every 6 months.
Yes. In chat. We've never voice chatted. We've never met in person.
But you've always talked once every 6 months, saying something.
Yeah.
And then it's back to square one each time.
Because of his strong Christian background. And he's serving in the Army, and he's going to college. And the Army is paying for his college. Great. Good for you. They've got you for life at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But another one that, I won't talk. I can't talk in person. I'm not comfortable. We've known each other for 8 years. When did I join the fandom? The first MFF I went to was
2012
or
2012.
2012.
So it'll be 10 years for you next year.
Yes. I've known this kid for over 10 years.
And you've never actually seen a picture of him?
No, I've seen pictures. No.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
But we've never spoken voice to voice even.
That's interesting.
Isn't that weird?
That is certainly interesting.
Doesn't it come off as weird?
Yeah, if you've known someone, you at least had to have met them at least once somewhere at a con or somewhere.
And there's Matthew Rossman that I know through Final Fantasy. We talk on almost a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Less than 1% body fat.
How does he exist?
How does he exist? How is he not sick all the time? My back is on fire. Feel this.
He is. Oh wow, he's very, very warm loaf. I just pet the loaf and he just came straight out of the oven and he is now fully baked poos. He is now super duper warm loaf.
I'm using a back warmer heating pad for my back because work is hard on my back sometimes.
I'm sure it can.
And so this helps. I don't always do things the best way. They always say work smarter, not harder.
Right.
Not this poos. I work hard. I work harder, less smarter. I bumped my head today.
Aw.
On the steel. A very light bump, but a bump nonetheless.
Aw.
Yeah.
Warm loaf and bumped loaf. No.
Almost tempted to go back to work tonight.
Don't.
Just to see if they've done anything.
It's only going to make you angrier.
It's just like 7:30. You've got 3.5 hours to get all this done. Better get to work. We'll see. Speaking of, it's 7:30 now. I should probably be in bed by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that sounds about
because I do have to. How long have we been going?
And an hour 29. So.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I figure at least keeping from an hour to 2 hour show is pretty good, considering this is kind of last minute, sort of planned, but sort of last minute. I thought, hey, we could probably do a show. But I think with that, this has been another episode of the Zooming Who's podcast. And once again, I'm your host, Dustin and Kurdan.
I'm Kurdan Sourpuss.
Thanks for tuning in again. And definitely make more notes of just stuff to kind of talk about. And we'll do that more too in time. So it's good to be back and do stuff and pet the mic, and is very, very fuzzy and looks like a nub. The mic could be a bobcat or a lynx or a corgi. They all have nubs. This is a roller coaster of a podcast. Yes, it certainly was. We get to talk about different things, which is pretty cool. So thanks for tuning in, and hope you enjoy this episode. And we'll come back again with another episode soon and discuss more of what happens between now and then. So there we go. So take care, everyone. We'll see you on the internets. Peace.